Hi everyone, this is a pick a card reading. So this is for what he/she needs you to know. So we've got here three groups. We've got group number 1 here with the blue butterfly and the blue crystal. This is like the dark blue butterfly and crystal. And then we've got group 2 here with the green butterfly and the pink crystal. And then group 3 with the light blue butterfly and the light blue crystal. So whichever one you're most drawn to and the one that you feel most connected to is most likely your reading. And then you can go to the timestamps in the description box below, and there you can click on the timestamp. It will take you to your reading so that you can watch it. And also I wanted to mention that in the description box below there is information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course there is the intention items which are on my Etsy store as well. So if anyone is interested in purchasing any of the items on there, the link is in the description box below. On my Etsy store as well there is the review section. Check out how other people have seen results with my items. I make beaded bracelets which are super cute and dainty. These are meditated with and saged, and they're there to remove obstacles and challenges from different areas of your life. So I'm actually wearing the evil eye one right now, and there's also so many other ones, like, you know, to help health, happiness, confidence, wealth. It's also to help with like different areas, like for example chakras as well. So do check those out. Love twin flame soulmate bracelets. There's also pom-poms, tassels, crystals, decoration pieces, charms, letters, etc. all on my Etsy store. And we're going to get started with the reading now. So everything's always in the description box below, which is just below the title of the video. You can click on it and it will open everything up for you. So yeah, let me just make a little bit of space. And for spring, I sort of need to redecorate things a little bit. So just bear with my little decorations for right now. This is like my New Year setup. So I'm gonna change that in a little bit. So let me just move these to the side. Okay. Alright, group number 1. Let's have a look and see what he/she needs you to know. So, let's have a look. What do they need you to know? They may be telling you this, they may not necessarily be telling you this, but they definitely need you to know this. So we've got the butterfly. Let's put the butterfly right there. Let's put the crystal right here. And let's see what these two cards here say. So it says here, I'm scared to reach out. And there's this one which says, nothing compares to your smile. All right, okay. So what we have here is a very, very clear indication that some of you may not be in contact, or there may just be a lot of hot and cold energy between the two of you, and either they're like scared to reach out, or they're scared to reach out to make some kind of plan, some kind of commitment. Or they may be really scared because they just feel like, oh my god, I need to get myself together, I'm not quite ready, and if I reach out or if we do something, it just means that, you know, you may have the expectation that things need to progress. And obviously if they're not completely ready, which is the kind of situation that I have unfolding in my head with all these messages, then obviously they feel quite pressured, and if they're not ready, they just don't have the energy to do so, right? So that's what I'm picking up on right here. Now, what else we have? What else we have? What else do we have? We have nothing compares to your smile. So obviously they like your physical characteristics. They really appreciate your smile and how you perhaps also come across as a positive person and just how you look in general. So that's what we've got there. Let's continue with a few more of these cards, and then I'll pull tarot cards as well. We're going to do a charm reading, so stay tuned for that. 1 second, let me just grab the cards. Okay, so oh, okay, hold on a second. That was a lot. Let's try shuffling this way. Okay, you are my true love. So they obviously have very strong feelings towards you, something that they are not they're not running away from that particular thought. It's just the pressure, I think, of having to do something. You will always have a very special place in my heart. There you go, right? You've got two very, very strong, loving messages and energies right there. I'm going to get some envelope messages actually, just for each one, and then also I'm going to pull tarot for each one as well. So let me just have a look, okay, and just grab those, because I wasn't expecting to use them, but sometimes things like this do happen. Let's grab these envelopes. Yeah, and tarot. Cool. So I grabbed another deck as well. Sometimes these things just happen where, you know, I'll already kind of know exactly what I'm going to pull for your reading, but then as we get into the reading, energies point me towards like different decks and things like that. So let's see. I'm scared to reach out. So here we've got You Are My Everything, which makes a lot of sense, right? Considering these two cards we have right here. Maybe that something happened in their personal life. They're just scared. They are scared. Then for this one we have incoming messages. So even though they're scared to reach out or perhaps make plans or commit or do something, you do have incoming messages. These can also be telepathic messages, which really which can really point you in the right direction in terms of like how they feel towards you. So that's what we have there. You are my true love. Wow, they're all the white envelopes that I'm pulling so far. So I dream of you. So again, you know, that's also a form of like a spiritual message that comes in the form of, you know, a dream, literally. So that's very interesting here. I dream of you. So they obviously do think about you. So you may get those kind of telepathic urges and signs and synchronicities and things like that. Ah, a brown envelope. So we got here, definitely. You will always have a special place in my heart. Definitely. Definitely. That's really confirmed there as well. I think when they dream about you, they really do confirm within themselves, like, oh my gosh, if I'm dreaming of this person, they mean a lot to me. Like the fact that they can't forget you also means a lot to them as well. And I think the fact that, you know, especially if this person, for example, is your ex, because I'm seeing many different types of people watching this reading, right? And what I mean by that is people that are in separation, people that are together, that are maybe struggling, or they have a situationship going on. Lots of different types of connections, basically, that's what I mean. And it still goes to show here that they really do think a lot about you, and they need you to know that, but also they need you to know that they are still scared and they still feel too much pressure, they feel too much conflict, they feel like it's just too much to handle. So on both sides, that's what they kind of need you to know, and that they are sort of having that fine balance in between. Does that make sense? They need that fine balance, and that's what's coming through. So let me go with more of these messages and then tarot. I promise we'll get to tarot in a minute, and also we will get to the charms as well. So these are the eternal messages. So we've got here, I'm always reminded of you. So again, you know, you've got dreams as well, like when they wake up, they're like, well, okay, I just dreamt of you. I feel like they do daydream about you as well. You've got here, I'm done running from this connection. So they know that at some point this has got to come to an end. It says here, I do talk about you, so perhaps to friends or family members, perhaps even to themselves. They could be talking to themselves about you. I know we're being spiritually guided. So again, you know, I mentioned as well that sort of telepathic energy between the two of you, and they dream about you. They could be seeing repeating numbers, signs, and synchronicity. They may dismiss some of these repeating numbers because they may think like, oh, maybe it's just a coincidence. But actually, as time goes by, I think they're realizing it's not really coincidence, like the universe is trying to speak to them. And then you've got, I'm protecting this connection. So they're trying to protect it basically by giving things time, giving it breathing space, because they know that they're scared to do something about it at this very point in time. Could be that other areas of their life are quite challenging, so of course they are trying to make that particular aspect and area come together. They're trying to make that aspect and area of their life progress, and so it can be really challenging, and it can be very very like difficult in that sense, but they're just trying to do the best that they can to try and make things the best that they can. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense, but that's what we've got here. Okay, so let's go with tarot and see what tarot is showing us. 1 second, sorry. My table, the behind the scenes of this is limited space, you know, so it's like everything's like stacked on top of one another. This just looks different. Okay, so let's see. So we've got the Tower here, right? They're obviously super scared and they want to give things time because you've got the Three of Wands. Tower is inner conflict, right? This is them not feeling 100% stable because the Tower is not built on a solid foundation. So they are sort of scared to do things right now, right? It shows here that they are frustrated, perhaps they're, you know, conflicted with themselves or conflicted with family members, and they just don't want to do anything about things. I'm sure you know this, right? When perhaps you know you should be doing something, but you just can't bring yourself to do it. I see this a lot with like students that want to procrastinate and they have something really important to submit, but they just can't bring themselves to do it. Instead, they'll procrastinate, they'll do a million other things, but they just don't want to write that essay or dissertation or whatever it is. I know this because I went to uni, and the thing is, right, I always do things like 4 or 5 days before a deadline. I have to, because otherwise the stress and the anxiety of like doing things last minute is just not something I ever want to deal with. To me, it's like a relief, but I know from a lot of people that I went to school with, like they will always leave things last minute. Always. And I always wondered how they do it. But the thing is, right, they just can't bring themselves to do it. They just can't. You know, they just don't want to also, and that's something that I see, but that was like the best analogy I could give you, right? That kind of makes sense as to why they just are so scared and why they just can't bring themselves to like do something about this, like to that extent, is that they just can't, you know. They are, I guess, internally procrastinating and they're giving things time and buying time. So I hope that gives you a little bit more of an indication. Yeah, the university way is the best way for me to describe it. It's a really interesting one, but hey, you know. Okay, right, so let's continue. 10 of Swords. Yeah, they really can't bring themselves to do it, but they know that at some point they've got to end the cycle, right? Because 10s are about endings and sort of new beginnings. At the same time, they know that they can't stay in this mode forever, so they know that they have to move into that new phase, which would be the Ace, and to actually take action and do something about it. They're obviously just really scared to do anything right now, but at the same time they're sort of buying time is what I'm seeing. Yeah, see, the Star here is about essentially doing things for themselves, letting things flow, connecting with whatever's going on right now for themselves. The Star also is about sort of healing and releasing their old ways, right? So their old ways, their unstable ways, trying to find a new path, trying to find a new flow and a new direction, and they're trying to get themselves together. The stars are aligning in the sense that, of course, that synchronized energy that they feel towards you is very much so there, but they also need to trust themselves a lot more, which is something that they don't tend to do a whole lot of. So the Star here is a very strong energy about healing, releasing the past, and then being able to align with you. Okay, and your last card here is the Magician. So this is about communication. This is also about doing something, right? So they really are going through the process of having to, first and foremost, they're giving things time, they're not really doing anything, procrastinating on the relationship or connection a little bit here. And then, of course, the Tower here shows them really hitting rock bottom in the sense of understanding that, you know, they can't go on any longer, and then having to sort of heal from it and finding their own direction and feeling stronger and more confident, and then taking action here and communicating their thoughts and feelings more with you. So they need you to know that it's a process. They can't just rush towards you, because they do that, they will feel even more confused within themselves, and that could cause even more friction, etc. So that's what I pick up here. So let's go to the charms now. Let's go to our correspondent, the charms. Okay, so I'm going to pull initials and like letters as well, because why not? But they are going to be in the tray. I don't know why I said but, because they just will be in the tray. Okay, so initials wise, this could also spell out words as well that might connect with your connection. So we've got here an M, C, G. Hold on a second. One second. This is not. They're just not handling like how I usually handle them. I don't know why they're just not staying. There we go. M, C, G, another G, L. I feel like I'm on the show Countdown. if anyone has seen it. OMG. OMG. There's like a lot of, what do you call them? Because you've got FML, that means like F my life. Like, it's like one of those sayings, isn't it, that people use. Like OMFG is also one that's used quite a lot. So you've got a lot of those kind of like words in here. I don't know how to describe it, honestly. Like people say like, oh, FOMO, like fear of missing out. It's like those, yeah, you know what I mean. You got H, A, and a Z or a Z. So those are your letters. So let's see what's coming through charms. Okay, so we've got an arrow here, which by the way is pointing to the G. Like, let me just show you that, right? And you've got two G's here. It's the most dominant letter that we have present in all of the letters. So you've got a G, which I think is very interesting, and the arrow is pointing to it. So there's a bit of direction there as well. It could be that maybe they're listening to someone as well who has like a G in their name, and they're more influenced towards that person or more influenced by what that person's saying. So that's something to keep in mind. Then we've got here a tree. So this is their roots as well. Okay, they're really taking time to understand themselves and I guess understand their roots and what they truly want in life. The other thing we see here is a Q. So we've got a Q. We've got here young and strong. So they could be, again, just focusing more on themselves and what they want out of life and focusing on, I guess, doing things that make them less committed, but also them knowing that they can't go on like this forever, because you've got the tree as well. And this can also mean their roots in terms of their culture. It could also mean their roots in terms of family history, and perhaps them sort of seeing relationships unfold in their family and thinking, oh my gosh, okay, like, they've been quite challenging or difficult, but how can I make this for myself? So we've got those two right there. You've got here this is like a location pin as well. So they know that this is the right thing, this is the right situation. Could be also that maybe G is in your name, but take it as it is and just have a look for your situation. But that location pin is very interesting because they know that this is right, that this is something very important and very special. They know that this is the right place. It's just, is it the right time? But also, when people say that, I don't believe there's anything like the wrong time. And the reason I say that is because even if it's the wrong timing, if someone really, really cares for a person, they will make it the right time. You know what I mean? Or they'll find a way to say like, okay, just give me a couple of weeks and it'll be okay, or something like that. You've got here the root chakra crystal, so obviously they do feel quite strong about this connection, but they also feel very intensely overwhelmed by it. We've got the key here, which is about commitment. I feel like eventually they want you to know that they will do something about this. You've got the little rabbit playing some kind of sport that involves a racket, whether that's squash or tennis or badminton, I don't know, but this is about being a team player. They know that you're really special and that you're a special team player. You've also got the scissors here as well. I feel like they need to cut out things from their past in order to move forward, because you have got the star as well, right? And that's about healing and releasing. Then you've also got here, and so I think they really want you to know, like, hey, look, I need to cut things out from my past. I know that this is the right thing, but I need some time. I need to figure myself out, because you've got that young and strong energy. But I also need to figure out my ties and what I can do about all of this. And then you've also got here this tag which says, it takes a big heart to teach little minds. And so I really feel here that they need you to know that you are very special and you should never doubt your special energy, but obviously they're just feeling very overwhelmed right now. And that is what I'm seeing. But this doesn't mean that you're a bad person or that anything you're doing is terrible. It just goes to show that they're not in the right frame of mind. But I definitely feel like they'll get somewhere, because you have got the star that then leads to the magician, and then you've got here the sort of marker, the marker point, and then you've got this arrow which shows a G. their focus right now is on this, like, G, whatever that may be. Let me know what the G is. Let me know what the G is in the comment section below. I'd be really fascinated to know. So this is your reading, group number 1. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, intention items, etc., which are on Etsy. And take care, everyone, as well as usual. Alright, so yeah, that is pretty much that. And yeah, okay, so I'm going to take away the letters and the charms. You can skip to the timestamp, by the way, if you are just browsing my video, or if you want to watch another one, sure, why not? Well, I'll clear this away. That's why I have the timestamps. I like doing things in real time. I don't know why, it just feels good. Okay, put that in here. Alright, so group number 2, let's have a look and see what he/she needs you to know. Alright, what does this person really need you to know right now? What are they trying to tell you? So you have chosen this group here with the beautiful green butterfly. Let's put it right there, and of course the pink crystal. So let's have a look. Yeah, sorry guys, I do have marks here on my table. I'm going to try and clean those actually. The thing is, right, they don't really come off very easily, and I used to paint on this table, so, you know, it's a very crafty table, very creative table. Do apologise, I just saw that in the camera. So let's have a look. Alright, so we've got here, I love being around you, and we've got you are the song I can't get out of my head. That's really interesting. So to me, what I'm seeing here is rumination, right? They are ruminating in regards to this particular connection. It's like they just can't stop either thinking about you, thinking about memories that the two of you had together, like things that you did together, or little glances, smiles that you exchanged, because I love being around you definitely does go to show that they really do value that. And for those of you that maybe are in separation, they just can't stop thinking about the time that the two of you spent together, those moments that you had together, and that sense of fulfillment that really occurred. And then you are the song I can't get out of my head. You know, they're obviously thinking about you a lot in that sense. It could be that maybe there's a song or something that they obviously think about when it comes to you, but what I see here in general is just this sense of like they can't get you out of their head. I just can't get you out of my head. You know, that song? Yeah. Maybe the person that made these cards was really inspired by that song. Kylie Minogue, right? Okay, so let's shuffle for some more cards. I'm also going to get some more message cards out, envelope messages, tarot cards, charm reading as well. So do stay tuned. Now I can't get that song out of my head. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh gosh, got a lot of cards here. I just keep shuffling. Okay, hold on a second. I dream of you every night. So whatever they think about during the day obviously carries forward into the night as well, which goes to show actually the thing is, right, with dreams as well, yes, there can be signs and synchronicities, but a lot of the times when you're thinking about something during the day, you're very likely to dream about it at night because the brain is bringing these subconscious thoughts into dreams. So yeah, they dream about you every night, and this one says, I've fallen deeply in love with you. So that's a vibe. That's very strong indeed. They have really fallen in love with you, and they really do care a lot about you, and they think a lot about you as well. What more can I say, right? There's a real strong energy here of them like loving you, caring about you. It's so strong, the way in which this is set out. So let's have a look with these messages. All right, so the first one we have is I get scared. So what they need you to know here is that they get scared about something. Could be that they are scared of commitment. They may have a phobia of commitment. They could have seen, you know, relationships in their family fall apart or disintegrate, and that really scares them. It could be that they perhaps also financially don't feel 100% secure. There's a few different reasons that this could be, but they definitely get scared about something. It could be just, you know, having to commit, basically. I see this person that once they commit, like they're in it and they wouldn't really budge out of it. So getting into it is quite a thing, isn't it? So next one we've got here is I dream of you, which makes a lot of sense, okay, considering you've got here the I dream of you every night message. So yeah, they can't get you out of their head, and they do dream about you a lot. Incoming messages. All right, so of course it makes a lot of sense, right? These incoming messages, because they do dream about you a lot, and I also feel like they need you to know this. So they could be messaging you and sort of telling you that they do care about you, but also giving mixed messages from time to time. Oh, and then this one came out. So this one says, let's hang out. So definitely feel like they will want to at least make some kind of progression towards you. Yes, they do get scared, but I don't think the scared energy is enough for them to like run away from you completely. I feel like the scared energy is more kind of giving them that challenge to work with and to progress with in a stronger way. And I don't feel that they're going to run away from this challenge. In fact, I only feel like it's going to make them stronger and appreciate the connection even more. I don't necessarily think they're going to run away necessarily from the connection. Does that make sense? I feel like if anything, they're just going to want to progress towards it more and more and more. And that's something that I'm picking up on. So that's what we have literally right there. Ta-da! So this is what we have here. So let's go with some of these eternal messages. Okay. Got this one which says, I thought about taking a trip with you. So they've obviously thought about this. Going somewhere, taking a trip. We've got here the message which says, let's hang out. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised, you know. A trip doesn't have to be long distance. It can be domestic, like very short haul, you know, in the sense of like, let's go here. A trip literally can be like, let's just go down the road and to the park and walk. It's that simple. But for some of you, it could be like a long distance thing, of course. Got here, I have inner child wounds. So that's interesting, isn't it? That we spoke about the fact that they do get scared. So something from their childhood sort of keeps them back a little bit. Again, this could be, you know, some kind of trauma that they faced in childhood. Could be them seeing their parents' relationships, you know, or their grandparents' relationship, or people's relationships, or how people have treated them. It just really, like, that's something they really do need you to know, is that they are not being horrible to you. It's just the way in which they have had their inner child destroyed in a way, and they're trying to heal that, I feel. But also they do have some wounds and some trauma from their childhood, which I obviously can pick up on, which I mentioned at the beginning. So we've got here as well, I do want to make things right with you, give me that opportunity. Okay, so they know that they have, the important thing here that with this person is that they know they have these issues, they know they have these traumas, these wounds, these problems. They know that they have these. They're not hiding, running away from these things. They know for a fact that they're dealing with these things. Then you've got here, I really do miss you a lot. Okay. They do miss you. And we've got here, just wait on me, please don't give up on me. So That's what I got. Now, I never really recommend waiting because you're just sitting there and waiting for someone. I always recommend that you kind of do your own thing, focus on your life, do the best that you can for yourself. And I know for a fact that they want you to wait for them, but I'm telling you as a tarot reader and from spirit as well, like, don't wait, continue to do your own thing, continue to enjoy your life. And they'll come back, they'll come around in some way. For some of you, they'll come back, but for most of you, they'll come around, but don't spend all of that time waiting on them. Do you know what I mean? Like, continue to live your life, continue to do the best you can in your life to like do things for yourself. And I feel like they're going to come around somehow. So that's what I see. They're going to fly around with that butterfly energy in some way, shape or form. But they really do miss you. They really do care about you. But obviously there's that little but. And that little but is the fact that they do have some struggles, right? Which are to do with their inner child. And that is what I'm really picking up on in regards to this reading and this situation in general. So that's what we have right here in that sense. So it's almost like they're hungry for the connection, but they just have to, work with their inner child wounds and heal those. So that's what I see here. Okay, so see what tarot is bringing us. Show me what you got, tarot. Show me what you got. You got the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like they imagine a family with you. I feel like they imagine a strong, stable, happy connection with you, which is long term. And I think that because they envision something so big like this, they know that they have to be in the best place mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, to align with this energy as well. And so what happens is that they start to then think about their childhood, they start to think about other relationships that they've witnessed in their life, and it does scare them to an extent because they start to envision, their entire life with you, their entire self with you. And of course that brings back maybe some childhood memories as well, and inner child wounds that perhaps they thought they had healed but are still there. Then you've got here as well the Two of Wands. So again, this is about them wanting to take a trip or wanting to hang out with you, because the Two of Wands, especially with that little globe as well, does indicate traveling and sort of looking out into the horizon, thinking about things that the two of you can do together, ways in which the two of you can spend time with one another. Got the Two of Swords here. Yeah, so on one side, right, they obviously are a bit defensive, but on the other side, because this is a card about being indecisive, they want to move things along with you and progress with you. So they're kind of a little bit like on two sides right now, but one side is not that they hate you and then one side is they love you. No. One side is that they know they have their own issues they need to deal with, and on the other side is the fact that they really do love you. So it's not like a love-hate indecisiveness, it's a like, I need to figure myself out but I still love you, kind of like a indecisive energy. Okay, so that's what we've got there. And of course the Two of Swords also shows peace as well. Like they feel like you're a very peaceful person, but they need you to know that their inner battles don't stem from how much they like love or hate you. It stems from the fact that they do love you, but they also have trouble within themselves and the stuff that they have gone through in terms of their inner child wounds, right? So it's really them against themselves at this very point in time, knowing that they really love you. Three of Cups here. See, this is about them wanting to hang out, social energy, social environment. As I'm filming this right now, there is a pandemic, there's many lockdowns, so they obviously have thought about hanging out with you. At some point, I feel like the two of you will hang out. For some of you, it may take more time than others of you, just because, of course, the pandemic and restrictions, etc. But they definitely do want to, right? So we've got the Three of Cups there as well, which is about hanging out, spending time together, etc. It's a very social energy, as we see there. And then your last card here is, let me see, the Devil. Okay, so the Devil here is about control, right, and obsession. So they are obsessed with you, and that's something that's definitely being picked up on. And the Devil is about, wanting to control things a certain way. So they want things to go their way, and they want to move things along when they are ready, not necessarily when you feel like you're ready, right? So the thing is that they do want to sort of like have control over the situation, because they know that they have a lot to heal. They know that they feel a bit toxic right now, and so they want to be able to control things in their own way so that things can become better within themselves, because they feel like they're a bit toxic because of the childhood wounds they have. they want to sort of control things in their pace and their manner, which is what I see with the devil, and also the fact that they are really obsessed with you and they feel very possessive over you as well. So that's just something to keep in mind, is that they feel very, very possessive. They think about you so much. They feel like you are theirs, but that they need to do things in their own way, right? They need to heal themselves in their own timeline, and then they're expecting you to sort of like just be there as well, because we did have that, you know, just wait on me kind of energy. It's like they're saying, you know, just wait, you know, I'm gonna do my own thing, but it has to be on their timeline. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm picking up on as well. I don't feel like the person is 100% toxic, but remember what I said. Do not wait, okay? That's really important. Like, just because they want you to wait doesn't necessarily mean you have to wait, okay? You don't need to wait. And that's what I said as well. And yeah, so there you go. So now we go to charms, which I'm very excited about as well. So let's go there. And charms and letters. So these letters could spell out their initials, could also be letters in their name, could be words that mean something to your connection. Okay, so let's put this here. We have a W, L, A, V, F, got an X as well, H, have, oh no, that's not an E, oh well, I've got a C here, I literally thought that was an E, got another X as well, you know what, I keep like thinking like for some of you maybe this is an actual X, but then you haven't got the E. I keep seeing an E now. I can't unsee the E. You know, because that would make sense with the X if you have an E, and also with the have if you have an E. Like, I missaw that F as an E. Okay, well, you know. Just deal with it, Moonlight. Just deal with it. There's really not many charms. I'm going to do another dip, alright? So, let's have it. Okay, so, there we go. Oh, we got a suitcase, right? That, oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay, alright. I really don't know what to say about that. Like, there's no way I could have gone in there and purposely got an E, because if you look at my charm box, okay, like, there's a lot happening in here, and you can't see, like, everything in here, and there's no way that an E would just randomly be, like, floating somewhere. Like, it was, yeah, you guys know what I mean, right? There's a lot happening in here. Okay, well, I'm just telling you, okay, there's no way that I, like, made that happen, but there you have it. Get it? There you have it. So yeah, for some of you it could also be an X. You also have, which, you know, they really do want to have you. It's something we're seeing. You've also got a T here as well. You've got an M. So you've got a few more. You can spell a lot of words out of this, for sure. You've got a C as well. Okay, you got a lot of letters, for sure. But that E was just standing out to me, and I hope that some of you can see that this is how I work as a reader. Sometimes I'll just feel an energy, or I'll see something, and it just makes sense later on as we get through the reading. So subscribe for some magic. Okay, so the suitcase here, of course, represents the fact that they do want to take a trip with you, or they want to travel, hang out, meet up, etc. This little bird here as well, it's about them just kind of taking their time and doing things on their own way, on their like own accord. Does that make sense? And then you've got here the dog, which is about loyalty. So they do feel like they have a loyalty towards you. You've got these two rings, so they do want to commit and make things happen with you. Obviously they're just taking a bit of time. You've got these running shoes as well, right, which indicates that right now they could be kind of like running and trying to figure out their own stuff and their own situation. But also the running shoe really does represent this sense of, like, you know, wanting things to progress, wanting happiness, wanting joy, and wanting to run with this, you know, connection. You've also got here the sacral chakra. No, sorry, this is a solar plexus chakra crystal. So solar plexus is to do with the sun, right? And the sun is about feeding energy in that sense, right? It brings warmth, it brings growth, it brings a lot of good energy, positive energy. And so they feel like you're very, very positive, and they want you to know that. We have here faith. So, you know, they're saying, have faith, you know, it will come around, it will come together in some way, shape, or form. You've got here dream as well, because they dream about you, as we've already mentioned. You've got here beautiful. They really do believe that you're very attractive and very, very beautiful. Like I mentioned, I feel like they are obsessed with you. And then you've got like this, is this like a sailor's steering wheel? I'm sorry. I don't know like sailing terms, but there's, you know, this energy of, again, traveling. It could be a compass. I'm not really sure what this is, but there's some kind of like travel energy coming through with that. And that is pretty much what we have. I mean, wow, right? Wow. It was really quite spectacular in the sense that they have very specific feelings towards you, for sure. Like, this is very specific, and if this resonated with you, let me know in the comment section below. Wow, there's a lot of words you can for sure make out of this, but let me know how it resonates, and yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course intention items which are on Etsy. And do take care, everyone, do take care. Alright, so I am going to now clear away some of these go in my charm box. And so do these. Okay. So I'm just going to clear these, and then we'll go to group number 3, last but never least, of course. Okay, where are we? Here we are. Alright, group number 3. Hello, this is what he/she needs you to know. So what do they need you to know? Well, let's have a little look. So you've chosen the light blue butterfly. Let's put it right there. With the light blue crystal, let's put it right here. Let's see what your cards have to say. I'm also going to shuffle out oracle cards, messages, tarot cards, charms. We're going to get charms out. You'll see. I'm going to get a lot of different bits and pieces on the table for you, so lots of information. So we've got here, I replay our conversations, and it says here, you are the best thing that has ever happened to me. So they're definitely thinking a lot about the things that the two of you have said and done, and they're replaying those things over and over again in their minds. Let's get some more of these cards out. Let's have a look. Each day is brighter with you in my life. They feel like you're like a beacon of light in their life, like you're the light at the end of the tunnel in their life as well. There's definitely a lot of positivity that they feel with you being in their life, which is obviously coming through very, very strongly. Then you've got here, I love you. Well, there you go. Okay, I love you. And then we've also got a bonus card, I miss your laugh, which is interesting, isn't it? Because for some of you, you may be in separation with this person, but others of you might be in a sort of situation with this person. But what they need you to know is that they really love you, and they very much so miss you, and they miss specific things about you, like your laugh and just how you brighten up their life and their day, and the sort of like everyday kind of conversations, and obviously here as well, the things that the two of you say to one another is something they really miss. They miss a lot of things about you, and they can't stop thinking about you in that sense, and they really do feel like you are a very, very special person in that sense, and someone who is just extremely special in many ways. So that's what we're picking up here. I mean, wow, it really goes to show here that they just need you to know just how special you truly are, and that they really miss these things about you as well. It could be that some of you are in long distance, so they can't always hear you laugh or things like that. Could be some of you are in separation completely. So that's what we have there. So let's get out some of these envelope messages. I'm just shuffling, well, not really shuffling, but jumbling. This one says, I'm sorry that things are hard. So yeah, there's something that's a little bit tricky about this particular situation. Again, because they say here that I miss your laugh, it could be that some of you are like long distance, so that could be quite difficult on you, or it could be that again some of you are in separation or in a situationship, and they just don't want things to be hard, but there's something that's out of their control. So it could be, right, that they are dealing with a lot of pressure in their career or in education, and they just have to focus on that aspect right now, and they can't give 100%. But there's definitely an external thing that is making it very, very hard for them to be as present as they would like to be. And they want to say that they're sorry that things are as difficult as they have been or as difficult as they are currently. Then we have just give me some time. So it's really on their side that something is perhaps not going as well as you perhaps had hoped things would go. There's so much I want to say, and that's what we have here. Yeah, there's a lot that they want to say. Perhaps they don't say all of it, but they do definitely need you to know that they take responsibility for things that have perhaps not gone how you expected maybe things to go. So maybe you kind of thought that they, would make things work with you, things would be long term, things would be perfect, and then suddenly things didn't go that way, and so they're trying to basically say like it's not you, it's me kind of a vibe, like they want to take responsibility in that sense. We've got here yes, so they definitely do love you here from what I see here. It's just that they are the ones that are sort of delaying things or making things not come together in the way that you would expect things to come together. So it's almost like, they have the power in their hands to change the way in which this connection goes, but they are taking their time because they know that the two of you could come together very easily. Now, one thing that I pick up here as well is that they feel like if they just come forward, you would very easily just accept them. And that's something that I'm definitely picking up on. So it could be that especially in this particular connection, they just feel like, oh, if they were just to approach you, they feel very confident that you would just say, okay, cool, yeah. So that's interesting. It's almost like they know that you're there, right? You're there and you're waiting, or, they just know. And I think that's why they're also buying a little bit more time here. Maybe. So maybe here, it doesn't mean that, maybe they missed your laugh. It's also about, this sense of like them being a little bit like between maybe and yes, which goes to show that they're leaning more towards a yes in terms of this connection and it coming together, but they're definitely like indecisive in terms of themselves and things that they're dealing with. Maybe is more so also about having this energy where they are trying to get themselves together and not feeling 100% within themselves. So maybe is them being like, okay, well, I really, really like you, but I also need to get myself together. So it's a maybe. It's not a no, right? It's a leaning more towards a yes kind of vibe. So, for example, if you're wondering, is it going to come together? Is it going to happen? Are they going to come towards me? I see a yes because majority of these messages lean towards that as well. It's just that they need some time, but they really, really do miss you and like you and feel like you are just that light, For some of you, you may have perhaps been in separation, or you might be in separation with this person, and maybe they're kind of, exploring other options. Not for all of you, of course, but for some of you, there may be that, and they're starting to realize, wow, you're so much more positive, you're so much more radiant, you're so much more, funny, and they're starting to realize that the grass was perhaps not greener on the other side, and that's what I see here as well. The card that's flipped over. I've been putting myself first. I've been seeing it's only hurting me more. That's it, isn't it? That's literally it. Is that by them putting themselves first, or maybe even exploring other options, it's only hurting them more. They're starting to realize that actually you were never the problem to begin with, and you have never been the problem. In fact, you were the solution to a lot of their issues internally, and the incredible light and positivity and joy that you bring was only actually extremely positive and very, very good. So I think they're starting to kick themselves for sure. We've got here, I've been telepathically communicating with you. So we know that they for sure are, I feel like this person is definitely thinking a lot about you. They may be seeing a lot of repeating signs and things like that, but more so, they could be walking down a street and they see someone who looks a lot like you or reminds you a lot of you. They could be flipping through a magazine or a newspaper, or they might turn on the news and say, for example, like there could be a synchronicity where someone's name, you know how reporters interview people all the time and they say their names, could be very much so that they have, you know, that name and it just takes them off, you know, off guard or something, or things like that. It really does. Things like that really do happen. So we've got that there, and then we have here, you really are the best thing that has ever happened to me. So they're starting to realize that for sure. So telepathically communicating with you, they could be thinking about you and then it sort of triggers you or makes your heart beat faster, things like that, and then you feel like, oh, are they thinking about me? It's a sign. It could be them thinking about you. You really are the best thing that has ever happened to me. Oh, no way. I was like wondering, because I was like, didn't I already say that before? It's the exact same card, but in a different deck. Oh my gosh, wow. You know, these synchronicities, I'm telling you, they've been happening actually in this video a lot. I can't even get the card. You got a double confirmation here that you are the best thing that has happened to them, that they feel. Wow, okay, so that happened actually in the group 2 reading as well with the charms, or the letters, should I say. Huge synchronicity, and I was like shook. And then this happened, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, all right. I really hate not communicating as much as I want to, so they're missing that, right? Because it says here, I replay our conversation, so they miss not being able to do as much of that. So again, that really matches with what we've seen there. There's so much they want to say as well, you know, that they feel they're not able to say. You know how in connections people often think to themselves, oh wow, you know, when I get home, I'm going to tell my person about this, or say you know people don't live together, they're like, oh, I can't wait to like text this person and say that I found this at the supermarket, or I saw this, you know, and there's so much, there's like a list of things that they have that they would really like to say to you that they sort of keep to themselves, so they don't want to come across as too much, and things like that. So it's like a whole list, you know, of things like that. And then we've got here the sexual thoughts that run through my mind, ... So they do have these sort of like sexual fantasies or physical thoughts in regards to you that I really do pick up on. So that's what we've got there. So yeah, they really are thinking a lot about you in many ways, and they can't stop thinking about you in that sense. But you really are the best thing that has ever happened to me. I think that is probably one of the biggest things that they need you to know, that they do need you to know, but also that they themselves really just need a bit of time, and they're really sorry that things are difficult. It's just that they want to get themselves together in the best place so that you can have the best version of themselves, right? So let's go now. When I hit the table, there's like something that rocks back and forth. I think it's the crystal, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, sorry. Every time I like put my knee against the table, like something would go da 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 da, and it was the crystal. Okay, out of all the things on the table. Okay, so 6 of Swords, right? That goes to show that they emotionally want to take themselves to a better place. They're dealing with some stuff for sure. That's what's really keeping things a bit stagnant right now. Okay, those swords can indicate baggage as well. And also it can indicate the fact that they perhaps thought the grass was greener on the other side and realised, oh my gosh, actually no it's not. The King of Wands is about taking action towards you, okay? It's also about physical intimacy, thoughts, and we saw that here as well. They have a lot of physical thoughts in regards to you. They also do recognise very much so in this sort of like king mode that you really are the most special thing that's ever happened to them. You got the Ace of Swords here, which is about taking action and communication, right? The communication aspect is really strong because they replay the conversations. They are having all of these epiphanies right now. They're thinking about how they can take action, but also they really hate not communicating as much as they want to, okay? That Ace of Swords, they feel like they've kind of lost their power in that sense. They just feel a bit incomplete, should I say, in that sense. The Lovers, okay, there you go. I mean, you know, there is that energy of I love you, which is very strongly there, very powerfully there. So they do love you, they do care a lot about you. It is there. It is strong. And you've got the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles here is about balance, right? The Two of Pentacles is also them trying to get themselves together. Like they know what they feel towards you, but they also need a little bit of time because they feel like they're juggling a lot of different things at once. And they just feel like, okay, you know, it's a maybe that leans towards a yes. They have feelings of love towards you. These thoughts are coming towards them. They're having, you know, a lot of awakenings and a lot of like powerful thoughts in their mind. they need to get themselves together, and they know that. So let's go to charms and letters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these letters. Now this could spell out words in relation to your connection. It can also be their initials, your initials, etc. Oh my gosh, oops. There's a lot that just came out, in all honesty. I really didn't mean to do that, but should we take them all? I know it's a lot. Like there's a lot happening there, but I feel like, you know, sometimes these things happen. This could really spell out a lot of words in regards to your connection though. All right, so got a V, A, D. I know this is a lot, but look what we have here. We've got some really dominant letters as well, and dominant letters are quite powerful in that sense because there's more of them. So you've got 4 L's. Majority of these letters are just probably repeating as well. It could be, yeah, because you've got another A there. I had a feeling. So you've got D, E. So you've got jade as well, like jade. Jade is also a stone, right? Or a colour. That's really interesting. Okay, so let's just put, and you got, yeah, again, you got repeating letters as well, but you can still spell out so many different things with them. So you've got a K and an E. Kale, like K-A-L-E, okay. You got an M and a Y. Oh, you got an M again, right? So you got a Y here. Yeah, you got a lot of dominant letters. That's really why this is happening. O, X. Okay, what we have here, we have X here as well. Got another A and a C. Okay, so that's what we have here with these. Let's put these two together as well. I need a little bit of space for my charms, so I do apologise. Okay, there we go. So actually, I know it looked like a lot. It literally looked like half the pot was in the thing, even though actually there's still like loads in there, but it looked like half the pot was in the thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys. And once you see some of the letters, you can't just like take them away because they're really just there and they're part of the energy. But actually it was meant to be, right? Because a lot of them were repeating, which I felt in the very beginning. It did say it, and then more and more repeats came out. So intuition is on point. I'm really proud of myself. Okay, so let's go with these charms. Also, just, I don't know how to show you this, but one of the charms just sort of like propped up on the edge of my box. It's gonna fall, isn't it? But let me try. Like, look at that. It kind of just went onto the edge of the box. So I'm gonna take it because it's like coming out of the box. Okay, so this is the like grandfather clock, as you see here. So this indicates the fact that they do need some time. They could be taking their time. You know that phrase like, oh, I feel like a bit of a grandpa. Like, you know, taking time. Not to say that grandpas are bad or they're slow or anything like that. Like some grandpas, okay, they are very fast. But they're taking this, they're really taking their time. And this is like a grandfather clock. It could be that maybe there's something to do with a grandfather that's really affected them recently, right? So maybe there's something to do with that, but there's a grandfather clock here and also the energy of time. We've also got some more letters as well. We've got a P here. And we've also got a J. All right, you've got another J. Look at that. Okay. And then you've got My Love is Alive. Okay, so yeah, they do love you, as we already have gathered probably a million times. We've got here the heart with a little lock on it as well. So they do love you, and this is about sort of commitment as well. You know, it really reminds me of the bridge in Paris where, well, they had to cut a lot of the locks off, but they had a bridge in Paris where you could like put a padlock on it and you can put your initials on it, and basically it like seals your love. But obviously they had to like cut all of those padlocks off because it started to weigh the bridge. But that's what it reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of like, you know, locking in your love, committing essentially, which is something that they have been thinking a lot about recently. And they do feel like your commitment material, your long-term material. You got these two wings as well. It really reminds me of the Lovers card because you've got Angel there with the two wings. So this really goes to show this like energy of protection as well, and they feel like very spiritually guided in regards to this connection. They're feeling a lot of like signs and synchronicities. They have a lot of love towards you as well, which is something we pick up on very, very strongly. And then you've got here them thinking about, you know, conversations and things that have been preserved. So in here, there's like a petal that's preserved, and it really goes to show that they think about the memories. They think about, you know, all of those memories that were had and made, and conversations that the two of you had, like all the things that have essentially been preserved. You've got the fish here, right? So that's really interesting. It's like, you know, water energy. It could be like Pisces energy, but this is also about them going with the flow, and them really, I don't know why, I keep thinking of a koi fish. And when I think of koi fishes, I actually have koi fishes as well, like a pond of koi fishes. They're really special. I don't know why, I just thought of like a koi fish for some reason. I mean, I've talked about this charm many times, but I never just randomly thought of a koi fish. They think you're very, very special. And that's something that's coming through, is that you're really, really special. And also that you're someone that's just, you know, easygoing, easy flowing. And it's just, you know, it's a good vibe. It just flows. Then you've got here a horse. So this reminds me of like the knight, right? Specifically the Knight of Cups, because the horse has this exact same positioning with its legs, the exact same positioning if you look at that card. So it reminds me of like them wanting to like share their feelings and their thoughts with you, or wanting to come towards you. You've got also, but not, they're not actually on the horse. You know what I mean? Like they're thinking about it. Then you've got here, I believe this is a French horn. So that's interesting. You know, maybe there's like musical instruments or music or song lyrics that remind them of you. And then you've got here protected. So again, you know, you've got the angel wings here as well. This connection is divinely protected, but they also feel very like strong towards you as well. They feel very protective of you. They don't want to hurt you. They dream about you. You've got this charm here. You've got this star crystal, which is, I think this is just a clear quartz, but this really reminds them of the fact that they do feel like they can see a lot more clearly now. You've got here the leaf as well. This really is about them sort of, going through those seasons and going through their learning and their growth, and, you know, shedding the leaves and growing much more within themselves. So that is your reading. All right, so this is your reading. Really hope that it helps you and gave you tons of clarity, information, knowledge. Take care, stay safe. If it resonates, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course intention items, which are on Etsy. And take care, everyone.